Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Ryder back with another classic. You know what I'm saying? Got a good little video for you guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Turn them notifications on so you get notified anytime my videos drop. Let's get it, y'all. So right now, I'm going to show you outside real quick. It's windy as hell where I live at. Fontana, right? Windy as hell, y'all. That's why I be telling people, be careful in this damn wind when you driving these rigs, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people this week, they got their rigs flipped over. It's real unfortunate, you know, but you gotta drive a little slower when the wind is blowing, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But this video is not gonna be about the wind. This video is gonna be about who's getting rich right now in the trucking industry. You know, because it ain't the truckers that's getting rich. I know that for a fact. I look on YouTube, I see a few OTR drivers right now. They getting some decent loads and stuff. Facebook groups, a few OTR drivers is getting some decent loads, but most of the drivers, you know what I'm saying, they're not getting decent loads. And a lot of local drivers right now, they're not getting decent loads either. You know, the prices on the loads have dropped tremendously. So it's real sad what's going on in the industry right now. So I'm trying to figure out who's getting rich. You know, is it the major companies that's getting rich? Is it the brokers that's getting rich? Because it's major companies right now that's laying off drivers, and there a lot of companies are going into bankrupt right now. Going bankrupt, you know. So it's kind of hard to even know who's really getting rich, you know. Like I don't think that a lot of major companies are even making money right now, because some major companies, you know, have to have filed bankruptcy, laid drivers off. You guys hear about that company? They laid off 500 employees, staff included, a lot of drivers. Everybody's going over there to pick their checks up, and guess what happens? Ain't no checks to pick up. You know what I'm saying? So they filed bankruptcy, and the drivers don't get paid. They try to get fuel cards don't work. So it's like, it's a lot of stuff that's going on. And if you got 500 employees, that's a real big company right there. It's not a small company, you know. So I want to know who's really getting rich out here. Because last year, you know, when we had the situation with the ports, you know, I actually made the news last year for one of my videos on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Caught the attention of the news, and they interviewed me for a few minutes and stuff about the issues at the ports. You know what I'm saying? So at one time at the ports, it was over 120 vessels sitting on the coast, right? So I guess each day the ports charge those vessels a certain amount of money for each container that they weren't able to offload off the vessel. So that shows you right there, in that particular time, the ports got rich, right? So I'm trying to put two and two together. So now it's like kind of like a game they're playing, right? So the ports got rich off of all those vessels just sitting there, and they were charging the vessels each damn day. Now all the vessels are on the East Coast, you know. So it's kind of like, are the ships playing games with us right now in on the West Coast? Because because we play games with them at the ports, so now they're taking their business to the East Coast, and supposedly the reason why they're doing that is for the contract negotiations. It don't take that long to negotiate some damn contracts. So during this negotiation period, all the vessels that usually come to the West Coast, they're on the East Coast right now, getting offloaded and loaded and stuff. So if there's anybody that watches my videos that work the ports on the East Coast or whatever, Comment and let me know what's going on over there. You guys making money over there? Let me know what the deal is. But so I ended up making the news, right? Nothing changed, and the situation back then was what it wasn't worse because the rates was good, but we weren't making. You'll get lucky if you made one round trip a day in the beginning of last year, beginning of last year, because what was happening was you go to the ports, they weren't even giving drivers chassis, right? So sometimes I will go bobtail in and I will wait in the chassis line for like 8 hours. It was crazy. But I really wasn't tripping because after 2 hours, I was getting $50, an hour for wait time. So I just posted up in the truck chilling. So I was getting that $50 an hour wait time for around 8 hours. Because I was waiting 8 hours to get a chassis, then it took me about 2 hours to get my load. Right? So it kind of like averaged out pretty cool because I was still getting like close to $1,000 a day just doing one load. Right? And that's the crazy thing about the damn ports. Even this year and last year, they don't give the truckers chassis. And I'm trying to figure out like why you guys don't give the truckers chassis, Why you guys don't give the truckers chassis? Because they complain about it's no room at the ports. The ports is congested and this and that. But when the drivers were coming out there to get those chassis, y'all, guess what? We couldn't get them. And some days it will be so bad, bro. Like, I would wait there all day. Especially, everybody knows anytime you go to WBCT at night, and when we had the little chassis crisis going on, guess what? We would go to WBCT, right? And you'll get there around 6 o'clock. You'll wait in line. All day you'll wait in line, right? And they wouldn't give us no chassis. And it got to the point you'll get there and they'll send you home from you'll wait there anywhere from 6 at night to 2 in the morning, right? Trying to wait for a chassis. Then sometimes you get lucky, when you have a situation where you can't find a chassis, you get lucky, y'all, and a driver will pull up and give you a chassis, or you got to go search around the ports and wait for a driver to get their container taken off, and they'll give you a chassis. But if you couldn't find a driver to give you a chassis, then you'll be waiting in the chassis line all this damn time. And guess what happens? Security will come through there and send everybody home. Okay, so the good thing is that when that situation happens to drivers, we get paid, after 2 hours, we get paid the $50 for waiting time. Some companies pay $20, some companies pay way more, but the company that I was pulling for pays $50, right? But since you wasted your time going up there like that, you do not get paid for the load if you can't pick it up. Only thing you got paid for was $100 dry run. So all that waiting time, chilling up there, then on top of the dry run, you still made a decent money for just sitting there. Probably $500 or something like that. You made $500-$600 from just sitting there, which was crazy to me. So what I would do, I'll go to the port every day, bro. Every day for a good amount of time, for a few months, probably 3 months. I would go up there. I have a pillow, blanket, and I just take naps up there. I was getting paid to sleep. That's how bad it was. Now, when you bobtail in the ports, it's way better. You don't do all that waiting time. And the problem that I'm knowing what's going on right now is that we're not doing all that waiting for the chassis like that because it ain't no freight like that. You feel me? So it's no freight like that, and a lot of drivers aren't even going to the ports like that. So the scam is right now, when it gets back busy, right after they finish the negotiations and more ships come to the West Coast, it's gonna get extremely busy over here in the West Coast. It's just right now, if you're on owner-operator, it's just a waiting game. And mind you, the ports play a big responsibility in this trucking industry, because let me give you guys a breakdown if you guys really don't know what's going on. So the ports come, they offload the ships. Us port drivers, we take the containers to warehouses. They offload those containers. Then they put that same freight into dry vans or reefers. Then they send it across country to wherever it needs to go. Then right from the ports, all the guys that work the ports, sometimes we go and it's very rare, but I had an account that I used to work with. I will pick up from the ports, drop off at the rail yard sometimes. So a lot of companies will drop off containers at the rail yard. Then the rail guys will go take those containers to different rails across the country. Or from the ports, they will off the port drivers, the port workers, the shoremen will offload the ships, and they will put those containers on the rails. Okay, then those rails will go to wherever they're going to go. So when the ports are messed up, everything is messed up. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, the ports are the reason why the industry is messed up right now. It cannot be no other reason, because the ports, honestly, the ports control the majority of the transportation business. Reefer plays a big part too, because everybody needs that frozen food to survive. But the ports play a big part of the trucking game. So my thoughts on who's getting rich, it has to be the people on the top level that's getting rich. It's not the brokers. The brokers are, of course, skimming money from the loads. They got to get paid, and they're going to take advantage of the situation, just like the companies that are doing the drivers are taking advantage of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And never forget, January 1st, when that AB5 law comes in effect, a lot of owner-operators that's leased to companies, they're not going to be able to lease to companies no more. A lot of people on the lease purchase programs, they got to return those trucks and become a company driver, or go to get their own authority. And just for the same situation for the drivers that are leasing their trucks to the company, they got to go get their own authority. And if you don't, you got to sell your truck. And that's why a lot of owner-operators right now are selling their trucks. You look all over, people, do me a favor. Go on Craigslist and look up and offer up and look up trucks and see who's selling them. Look up trucks for sale, commercial vehicles for sale, and you guys will see it's a whole bunch of new trucks on there right now. If you look on Facebook, a whole bunch of owner-operators are selling their equipment right now. You know what I'm saying? And those people probably are the people that's not going to get their own authority and pay for their own insurance, or they're just getting out of the trucking industry completely. But me, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting out this game. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand, once the trucking industry balances back out, then guess what's going to happen? It's going to be more money for us out here. And all the people that's not staying down and getting out of the truck industry, it's a sad thing. But you know what I'm saying? You got to turn a negative into a positive it's going to be more money left for the drivers that's actually staying in this situation, you know. And I advise everybody, when you book these loads, negotiate and try to pick smarter freight. That's number one. A lot of drivers cannot just book loads. A lot of drivers cannot go out here and not book loads because they have families to take care of. They have bills to pay. They have to pay truck notes, insurance. And it's like, even when it's time to protest, you know what I'm saying? A lot of drivers can't protest because of certain situations. Like, if you're a company driver and it's a big protest going on, you cannot, if you're clocking in for somebody, you cannot go protest because you'll get fired. You feel me? So that's the control that these companies in the industry have on a lot of drivers. If you got a high overhead, a big monthly payment for your truck, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay fuel balances off, fuel, credit cards, and insurance. How can you say, I'm not going to work for a few days and I'm going to go protest? It's not going to happen. That's why we got to figure out how we can all network and stick together. Like, this situation that we're going through is deeper than getting out here and just protesting, because protesting, I'm going to tell you guys like this, protesting will never work. Protesting will never work because in order for it to work, everybody that has a Class A license and drives a Class A vehicle has to shut down for a few days. If you got 10% of guys shutting down in one city, then the other 90% of the guys are still working in that city. What point are we really proving? We're not really proving a point. We're proving that we're more divided than anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got to look out for in this trucking game, guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't get mad when people don't protest. I never get mad when drivers don't protest. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand, how can you get mad at the guy that doesn't protest when that guy has bills and you don't know his situation in life? You can't get mad that this guy doesn't want to protest when he has rent coming up, car notes, and all this other stuff, got kids to stack money up for college, all type of stuff that's going on. So you can never get mad at a person for doing what's best for themselves, because you know what? The number one thing about life is self-preservation. And a lot of people are gonna put their self and their situations before the whole trucking industry. And that's what the brokers are doing. They don't give a damn about the driver. They're gonna make their money. That's what these companies are doing. They don't give a damn about these drivers. They're gonna make their money. But when it balances out, drivers have more control to go pull the type of loads they want to pull, and drivers are valuable. Like, if you got a Class A license and you're not happy with your job, you can go find another job like that. You go put on an application, next day these people are going to be calling you to set up an interview or whatever is going to happen. Like people don't understand how much power you do have as a Class A driver. But some people get comfortable in their situations and their jobs to where they're going to want to stay at that certain company because it's taking care of them how they want to get taken care of. But me personally, I don't put up with nothing from no job. Ever since I first got my CDL and I figured out, like, damn, if my wheels don't turn, this company don't get paid. So I'm more of an asset to them than they are to me. You know, the dispatchers, sometimes if you're a company driver, they try to bully you and they try to act like they run the company. But always remember, if you're a Class A driver and you work for a company, you make 9 times out of 10, you make more money than those dispatchers. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to call you with attitudes. They're going to call you and give you the runaround, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But see, my personality is different. You know, I don't take work home, and I don't take stuff personal. So when dispatchers is trying to give me a hard time, you know, I ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I know when I get paid, I'm going to have a big smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? And most of those people hate their jobs. I love my job. You know, I've been doing this for 11 years. There's probably no job that I would want to do besides driving a truck. I love the freedom. I love people not watching over me all the time. I love being able to be in my truck, listening to music, listening to YouTube, talking on the phone, making videos for you guys. Like, if I had a different kind of gig, I probably wouldn't be able to do everything that I'm doing in life. And a lot of gigs don't pay like Class A drivers pay. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay. A lot of jobs don't pay us good out here. And if you're a young man or a young woman and you want to make good money for yourself, close to 100,000 plus a year, even as a company driver, keep your license. Don't get a lot of tickets. Don't get any DUIs. Don't get no reckless driving. Try your hardest not to get in any accidents. And guess what? You'll be able to make as much money as you want to make in your Class A career. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know Class A drivers have power. You know what I'm saying? We are essential workers, even though during that pandemic, we didn't get no essential pay. A lot of, we should have, during the heat of the pandemic, when the roads was closed, no traffic on the freeway, we still had to go to work. Guess what we should have been doing? We should have got essential pay. We should have got, if you was a company driver, your hourly pay should have been way higher than it is now. If you're an owner-operator, them loads, you should have got load pay on top of essential pay. You know what I'm saying? And they know this, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't want to give us that respect as drivers to be like, oh, you know what? They're on the front line. They're risking their lives. You know what I'm saying? They're going inside these warehouses dealing with people that have COVID. They can potentially catch COVID because of dealing with the people inside the warehouse, dealing with people inside their trucks. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? When I was a company driver during COVID, if you got a slip seat driver, you're sharing trucks. You feel me? And guess what? If you don't get inside that truck, wipe it down, guess what? Every time I went to work, trucks had yellow tapes on them, and both drivers got sick. When one driver got sick, they passed it to the other driver. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's what's messed up. Somebody comes in your truck, cough, sneeze, or whatever, and you don't go in there and wipe your truck down, you get sick. And there was drivers doing everything in their power, going in there, wiping their trucks down and everything, and still getting sick. And that's messed up because we didn't get no essential pay for that. We should have got essential pay, and because our lives were on the line a lot, every single day. I didn't like, and that's the thing about trucking. Like, I haven't taken no time. Only time I took time off from trucking is when I bought my own truck and I got in the owner-operator business, and when it was slow, I would take time off. But like when I was all of 2020, I worked all of 2020, I worked every single day. All of 2021, I worked. But this year, it's kind of funky. You feel me, with the trucking industry. But hopefully the trucking industry turns back around soon. And I understand those guys that's in those lease purchase programs, and those guys that's leasing their trucks to companies, I feel that they're getting taken advantage of, because if those companies are paying them, if those companies are cheating them and giving them bad rates, those drivers don't have no choice but to take those rates and move those loads. Because if you're a lease purchase driver, then guess what? You're already negative before the week starts. So whatever load they say that you're going to get and whatever they're going to pay you, that's what you have to take so you can have a small paycheck at the end of the week. You feel me? Then guess what? All the other companies, they're going to have to balance their rates accordingly to what those companies are doing. And that's what's messing up all the rates in the trucking industry right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see too many drivers out here getting paid the bomb right now. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try to drop as much knowledge that I have about the trucking industry as possible, so you guys can stay on your toes. And if you guys have any game you can help me with, make sure you send that game to me either through comment section or either through email, or hit me up on Instagram. Whatever you guys need, I'm here for you to try to help you guys out the best to my ability. And if I don't have the answer, I'll go help you guys research the answer, and we can find the answer together. And that news clip from last year, I'll post on my page. and I'll give you guys a breakdown of that so you guys can understand like how crazy these ports been since last year and this year, you know. But everybody stay positive because the trucking industry is going to come back. Everybody stay positive because the trucking industry is going to get back to where it used to be. We just all got to stay positive, y'all. Okay? Put that positive energy out here. You know, some days it's going to be worse than others. It's the name of the game when you got a Class A. But always know the end goal is for us to all stick together, work together, and help each other find better rates, better companies, whatever we got to do, y'all. So I hope you guys like this video. Hit that like and subscribe button, comment and share this video, y'all. Let's get it.